What's up, dudes? Chooch out here cruising around again in the snow on the electric unicycle, having a total blast, cutting up. Dude, this is one of my favorite things to do. It is so much fun. I don't understand why it's so much fun, but it really is. I've been doing this for years now, riding in the snow, and it's just progressed, guys. I've tried different tires, tried different wheels in it, and I love it. I don't know why. I really like the way it feels when you're riding in the snow on these things. It's a great time, guys. And as far as damages to wheels or anything like that, if it tears it up, uh, it's been a really good run, man. I've had really great luck with not having damage to these wheels, guys. I rode them in the snow a whole lot, and I honestly have not had problems with bearings. I haven't had problems with it getting into the battery packs or anything on these electric unicycles. Now I use a little bit of sense about it and just don't, go to the total extremes, but they can handle a lot, man. They can really handle a lot, and it is just a total blast. And honestly, it changes the riding dynamic um, completely on these things. It's something like you've never experienced before. It's not like skiing. It's not like riding a normal electric unicycle. It's just completely different, and it's a total blast. But anyways, I'm out here rocking on the old M Super Pro, dudes. This wheel right here, basically like the RS19 that's available now. One cool thing to note, dudes, RS19s are in stock now from E-Wheels. They just got them back in stock, and they're shipping now standard with the CST 186 knobby tire, and get this, and with spike pedals, guys. So the wheel that you see me riding right here is basically that setup. Um, I had to put the aftermarket CST 186 on here, which I love this tire. It's the one thing you're not gonna love it for is like your high speed cornering on like in the city, dudes. You kind of gotta get used to it. But for riding off road, it grips like no other tire, guys. Just because those um, those really square edges on those knobs, it just grabs in the corner, guys. It's not like a rounded off tire, like an enduro tire, kind of like the Shinko. This thing grabs, man. Compared to that Shinko, you can get sideways on this tire compared to the Shinko. Um, Shinko 244 is what I'm talking about. The but this wheel, guys, back in stock from E-Wheels, and it ships with this knobby tire and the spike pedals. It has, get this, the Molicel P42A battery pack as well. So this is like the newest, latest, and greatest RS19, and you can pick whether you want the high speed version or if you want to get the high torque version, like I'm riding right here. Um, if you're going to be taking this thing trail riding, guys, and whatnot, you're going to love that high torque version for just those switchback corners where you don't have a lot of speed leading into that uphill. You know what I'm talking about. If you're a mountain bike trail rider, and you're coming out of a corner and you hit it, you just have a switchback right there. There's no lead up to it. Like you're not bringing momentum into the corner. That's where you want a high torque wheel, guys. It will literally just rocket ship out of that corner like no problem. The high speed wheel is where if you're mainly a city rider, guys, you want to have the high speed version of this wheel, simply because this is a big thing, guys. It's just like with a motorcycle. You want to have more speed there, even if you don't use it, just in case you have that time where you need it. So if there's a situation where a car is pulling out, or there's somebody coming down, a crazy person coming down the road, in a box truck that's not seeing something, seeing you at an intersection or something, and you got to just get out of the way quick, guys. Or either if you got to overtake someone in the city. Say if you're like riding, I've been there before, guys. I've overpowered a wheel and dumped it. The old ACM that didn't have enough speed, just because that was an older time, dude, where the wheels didn't have the max speed they have now. But that was a situation back then. That happened like in 2015, where I needed more speed, dudes. And when and like with the high speed wheels, guys, if you're like riding like parallel to somebody in traffic or whatever, and you're trying to speed up, to get around someone that might be hooking a left or hooking a right or something like that, or either if you're like boogieing through traffic in New York or whatever. Because I know there's, you might have that slow traffic in the inner city, but once you're a little bit out of the city, man, people start moving. And they're getting up, 40 miles an hour plus, and that's where you want to be able to have the extra speed there. And that's why I say for anybody that's just mainly there's a street warrior in the city, you got to get the high speed version. There's no business even trying to fool with getting the high torque wheels. I mean, really, high torque wheels are for the guys that are off road riding, hitting jumps, and trail riding. That's, I mean, that's point blank. Period. There's no sense in buying the high torque wheel if you're a fast city rider. I mean, you really just need that safety if you're predominantly, in the situation where you're riding if you're riding over 35 miles an hour, you know, you got to get the high speed version, basically. If you're a rider that's comfortable riding over 35 in your typical scenario, get the high speed version, because there's going to be some times where you go all the way up to that 40 mile. So definitely do that. So these also have the 2700 watt motor in them, or actually the 2600 watt motor in these as well for the high speed and the high torque, which is a beefy motor, guys. This one in the Intruder Pro is less than that. I'm not sure. I think mine's 2200 watts. And this one, I know like the Veteran Sherman. Y'all know that wheel that's just extremely fast. That stupid, powerful, fast wheel. That one has a 2500 watt motor in it. So it kind of shows you that this one is even a more powerful motor technically. It doesn't have the battery to back it like the Sherman does, but it is a more powerful motor, guys, which is going to be great for your jumping. That on command torque whenever you're lining up on a jump and you're kind of preloading and you need that last little oomph to get you over that jump. The high torque with that 2600 watt motor, guys, is exactly what you're going to want for your smooth park jumping, guys. If you don't want to go all the way to suspension wheels right now, you want to just get a wheel that can still jump in parks and stuff. Now you need a landing transition, guys. Like this wheel is great for jumping if you have a landing. You know what I mean? This is not going to be a wheel just to go jump a kicker and go land on flat in your driveway, okay?
This
if
is
you want to do that, go with the
King
Song S22 or something like the Master. But this is a great wheel. You can still jump if you're flowing. If you're going to like a BMX park, you're hitting your jump and then you're coming down on your landing. You're hitting your jump, coming down on your landing. This one can still do it great at a fabulous price point. It's not going to break the bank, but you got a ton of power there, guys. I mean, the power equivalent to this thing, just whenever you're looking for that on-command power when you're leaving your jumps and whatnot, is going to be greater than a lot of the suspension wheels out there. Even like the 134 volt Master, arguably this at the lip of the takeoff could feel a little bit more powerful, just depending on what you're looking for as a rider. It all depends. I've fooled around on the Master for a minute, the S22 as well. But it depends what you get used to, really, guys. With these wheels, it amazes you. It amazes me how quick I can get used to really any setup. It doesn't really matter what it is. I can usually get used to it really quick. Whether it has suspension, doesn't have suspension, has a knobby, doesn't have a knobby, I can usually learn it pretty quick and have a great time with it, no matter what. And that's one thing why I always say, when I get a new wheel, I usually end up liking it because it's usually a new wheel. I love riding, and it's usually the latest technology, so even if it's not something that I like immediately, after a few days of me riding and getting used to it, I usually end up liking it a lot. Because whenever I get these wheels to demo and review, I ride them a good bit. But dudes, if you want to pick up a wheel that's basically like this one, the new RSs that are out, it's the latest and greatest RS19. It might be the last RS19 they ever make. I mean, this is the best one with the Molly cell battery packs, ships with the knobby tire and the spike pedals. And, you can get it from eWheels right now for $2,500, $2,499. If you want to get one, guys, make sure you use the links below to pick one up. Also, guys, Rev Rides and Alien Rides are doing like a Black Friday sale thing right now. If you want to try to check those out. I'm not sure if those wheels have the MyLightCell battery packs or the spike pedals like the E-Wheels ones do. I know the E-Wheels just got a fresh batch of the new latest and greatest RS19s. So if you want to get one of those, definitely hit the link below. Check out E-Wheels. But also, if you want to get one from Rev Rides or anything like that, just check the description, see if it's the latest and greatest updated one, and you might be able to use my link combined with the Black Friday deals. But definitely use that link as well, because it'll help you save even more money. You see me right here eating shit. When you're riding in snow, guys, make sure one big thing to look out for, dudes, is to know your terrain. This is one thing that it's just kind of comes with snow riding, guys, is the snow is going to cover obstacles up. And for instance, if it's your backyard or your property or something, or like a path in the city that you frequently ride and it snows and you know that there's nothing on it, you might want to take that path if you're trying to ride in the snow. You don't want to go ride in random places and whatnot after it snows, because you're going to end up doing what I just did and hitting something under the snow, and it may not be as forgiving as what just happened to me. You might smoke something, hit something sharp, hit something in the wrong way that damages your wheel, pops a tire, or injures you. So that's one risk that you run with riding in snow. I'm not guaranteeing that your electric unicycle is going to work after doing this. I am saying I've had a great track record with mine. I've been riding and doing this since 2015. Every single winter since 2015, I've done this, and I haven't had a wheel mess up yet. Knock on wood. Hopefully it doesn't happen. I've had a great time doing it though, and it's a total blast. And if you can have this much fun with it, I don't see a problem doing it. If you got an older beater wheel to maybe take out, or either if you're cool with doing it with your only wheel or whatever, I wouldn't, after knowing what I know now, I wouldn't be too concerned with it. If I wanted to go out and try it, I only had like one wheel or whatever, I would go send it, dude. The worst thing that can happen is, you have to replace some batteries or whatever. At the end of the day, you're not going to have to replace everything on the wheel, if something breaks. If you know how to work on it and fix it, you might have to replace like one part, one component or something. But, I've never had to do it, but it's a risk I'm willing to take for the amount of fun that I do have whenever I go out and ride in the snow. But anyways, dudes, it's been Chooch. If y'all enjoyed the video, throw it a thumbs up, and I will see you dudes in the next one. Hey, if you made it this far, throw it a like. It helps the algorithm, and this video needs more algorithm help. I appreciate it, dudes. I'll see you in the next one.